Parents, imagine this. Your 15-year-old son walks out of his room looking completely normal. He smiles at dinner. He does okay in school and he tells you everything's fine. But behind that door, he's living a secret life that's quietly stealing his future. I'm Matt Bulkley, licensed psychotherapist and founder of Parent Guide. In my clinical practice, I've worked with hundreds of families just like yours. Today, we're diving deep into something that most parents miss. That is how pornography addiction doesn't just change your teen's behavior, it literally derails his psychological development. We're using Erik Erikson's stages of psychosocial development to show you exactly what is happening inside your son's mind, and most importantly, how you as parents could fight back and help him win the battle for his identity. Well, parents often see compulsive porn use as just a phase or a moral issue, and developmental psychology tells us that it's far more serious. It hijacks the exact stage where your son is supposed to answer the question, who am I? And if it's left untreated, it locks him in role confusion and sets him up for a lifetime of isolation. But with the right specialized help, his brain and identity are still incredibly malleable, and there's real hope and there's proven paths forward. Parents, let's start with the roadmap that every human follows. Erik Erikson, one of the most influential developmental psychologists, he outlined 8 stages of psychosocial growth. And for adolescents, roughly ages 12 to 18, central conflict is identity versus role confusion. And this is when your son must figure out, who am I? What do I believe? Where do I fit? And he needs to experiment with roles, build real relationships, learn to sit with uncomfortable emotions, and integrate all of that into a cohesive sense of self. Success here creates the virtue of fidelity, which is the ability to stay loyal to his values and people, even when life gets hard. And pornography addiction doesn't just distract this process, it completely derails it. Well, parents, here's exactly how it happens in 3 critical domains. So number 1, creation of a fractured self. To build a healthy identity, a teen needs congruence, his inside self matching his outside self. And porn, well, it forces a double life. I had a 16-year-old client, we'll call him Ethan, star athlete on the outside, a straight A student, polite at home. But every night he disappeared into extreme porn, and his parents had no idea. The shame of living 2 completely different identities left him feeling like he didn't even know who he was anymore. He told me, well, I feel like a fake everywhere I go. And that's classic role confusion. Second, weaponized intimacy and distorted sexuality. Healthy development includes learning real world intimacy, things like the awkward conversations, the vulnerability, the slow building of trust. In porn, it offers a hyper stimulating, consequence free illusion, teaches that people are objects, sex is transactional, and vulnerability, well, it's pointless. Another client, 14-year-old Marcus, had been using porn since age 11. And by the time he reached me, well, he genuinely believed real girls were supposed to act like the extreme videos they had watched. And he had zero idea how to even talk to a girl at school. His emerging sexual identity was completely fused to pixels instead of people. Number 3, the dopamine hack of emotional coping. Adolescence is supposed to be uncomfortable. The friction, social anxiety, rejection, academic stress. Well, it's how teens build resilience, and porn becomes the ultimate escape hatch. Feel bad? Open a tab. The brain never learns to handle normal life. Worked with a 17-year-old named Tyler who used porn multiple times a day to numb loneliness. And when we removed access, he had a total emotional meltdown because he had never developed any other coping skills. His emotional identity was completely stunted. Well, parents, if your son exits adolescence stuck in role confusion, it cascades straight into the next stage, which is intimacy versus isolation, ages 18 to 40-ish. And the results I see in my practice are heartbreaking. Things like severe social isolation, deep shame makes authentic connection feel terrifying, sexual dysfunction. Many young men now experience porn-induced erectile dysfunction with real partners, apathy and failure to launch, which is dopamine depletion kills motivation for school, for work, or for hobbies, chronic anxiety, depression, and low self-worth that resist normal treatment. One 19-year-old that I treated had been addicted since middle school, and he dropped out of college, couldn't hold a job, and told me that he felt empty inside around other people. He was living in his parents' basement, isolated and ashamed. And that is the real cost of waiting to intervene. Parents, the good news, you don't have to figure this out alone. And basic parental controls or generic talk therapy, well, they're usually not enough. So here are two highly specialized resources that I always recommend. Number one, Recovery Toolbox for Teens. It's a clinical curriculum, a trio of workbooks that were created specifically for adolescents with problem sexual behavior and digital addictions. It uses CBT and ACT to give your son a literal toolbox for daily life, learns to identify his triggers, challenge the lies that keep him stuck, build real emotional regulation skills, and restore honesty with you as parents. And it's about replacing the secret online identity with a real world competence and confidence. And it gives you as the parent a corresponding guide, the parent version. So that you are in the loop and can be supportive as part of his recovery journey. The toolbox, it includes the Breaking Free Workbook, the 101 Tips for Quitting Porn, and the Parent Guide. You can get it in the bookstore at therapyassociates.net. It is the blue version. And secondly, Star Guide's Wilderness Therapy. So for more severe cases where the addiction has completely taken over, well, sometimes you need a full environment reset. And Star Guides, well, it is the premier wilderness treatment program designed for teen boys struggling with compulsive porn and internet use. There are no screens, pristine nature, daily challenges that force him to build genuine self-worth. Specialized therapists who understand the neurobiology of sexual compulsivity. Group work with peers who get it, which dissolves toxic shame faster than anything I've ever seen. The digital detox alone allows his brain to start healing. The experiential learning rebuilds his identity from the ground up. And over the past 14 years working in the program, I've seen hundreds of teens and their families find recovery and healing. You can learn more at the website, starguides.net. Parents, do not lose hope. Erik Erikson taught us that the identity stage is fluid. Your son's brain is still highly plastic. The story's not written yet. By intervening early and now with targeted, specialized help, you're not just stopping a bad habit, you are giving him back his future, his confidence, and his authentic self. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope that you have found this helpful, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our weekly parent support videos, providing you with the latest research, guidance, strategies, tips, and support in the recovery journey. Parents, check the description for links to the Recovery Toolbox for Teens and for Star Guide's Wilderness Therapy. You got this. Your son needs you to fight for him right now. I will see you in the next video. Take care.